Blessed ones, greetings to you. We are with you. And you are with us in this moment, in this essence. And what is the essence of the human experience at this time on the planet? Indeed, it is intensity. Indeed, it is intensity. And you will not find your peace in the stillness at this time. You will not find your peace by retreating. You will not find your peace in trying to be very unencumbered by what it is that you are experiencing. Now, you have known that in the last 6 or 7 years on this planet, it has all been about release. Agree? It's been about release of blueprints, release of patterns, release of karmic history, release of habitual behavior, release of attachment. But that is not what this year is about. And so we were very deliberate in introducing the frequency of intensity to this conversation because, indeed, 2019 is about intensity. How else are you going to be the greatest version of humanity yet? Because, indeed, this is not about you paving the way for the next generation. This is about you. You're here now. And so in order to become the greatest version of humanity, the greatest version of yourselves, you must understand that intensity needs to be faced. It is a requirement for you in 2019. It's a requirement that is not about release. Now, if intensity is not about release, what is it about? We say unto you, it is about focus. And it is about your permission to give yourself the ability to be able to be here and very focused, and then here and very focused, and then here and very focused. Because when you are very focused in multiple directions, that is where your stability is. You can no longer anchor yourself in one way. You can no longer find your stability in one direction. Just as you have discovered you cannot find it in a partner, or you cannot find it in a home, or you cannot find it in a vocation, or in a sense of family, or in a sense of what you believe your dream or vision is. You cannot find it in one place. The multidirectional aspect is a direct result of your multidimensional capacity now embodying itself within this reality. And in essence, you are going to be required to have multiple directional focus in order to feel that you even can be here. Now, this is very important for you, for those who are beginning new projects this year, because most of you in this room are beginning new projects this year. And you have perhaps begun the year with some enthusiasm, with some motivation, and then all of a sudden it's gone. This happened for you in the last few days. You felt that impetus, you felt the self-motivation, you felt the movement, and then it's gone. Now, what does this mean for you? This means for you that when it's gone there's somewhere else for you to be focusing for those few days. And for you to give yourself permission to intensely focus there, and then it will move again. You do not need your focus to continue to be in one direction for that particular creation to continue to move, to continue to grow. That's what makes you masters. You don't need to keep watering the plant. All you need to do is seed it. And then you seed another one, and then you seed another one, and then you seed another one. And like the cosmic farmers that you are, the cosmic creators that you are, you will turn your attention to them as you notice them grow, and then your focus will be there. And then you will turn your attention to another plant as it grows, and your focus will be there. Do you see? That's called influence. The cosmic farmers of the planet will not just focus on one plant, just as you will not focus on one species. So be prepared in 2019 for multi-directional focus. We've introduced this concept to you many times before, but it's very important you understand that it is a signature of the master so that you do not keep trying to limit yourselves by trying to focus in one direction. If you try to focus in one direction too much, nothing is going to happen. Watch what happens when you look at the seedling. If you're looking and looking and looking and looking and looking and looking, can you see it grow? You can't see its growth. Agree? Because there's too much attention there. And yet, lo, you look away for some time and you look back, oh, it's grown. It's exactly the same. Now, there are those of you in this room who have children. And for you, in 2019, it's going to be an exceptional year for taking your focus away from your children. Doesn't mean to say you're not there to care for them, but you're not watching them, waiting for them to grow. This is about your own stimulation. And if you're willing to direct your focus in many different directions, lo, there is accelerated growth that is witnessed. Accelerated growth. Accelerated growth. Such is the experience of the cosmic farmer. Do you see? Or should we say cosmic creator? Humans still like to farm because they like to control. True? Let us speak with you about your economy. It is not a topic we care to speak of very often, but we will speak of it on this day. When you look at your economy, when you look at your financial beliefs, when you look at what you believe to be your financial reality, be very, very aware that it is also a plant. It is also something that has been seeded. If you keep looking at it, you're not going to see a lot of change. But if you dare yourself to look away, when the time comes for your consciousness to redirect your focus back to that, watch how it has changed. Now, this is problematic for many humans, especially those who would consider themselves to be the light workers or the spiritual warriors on the planet, and we are expecting correspondence about this. Because what we are encouraging you to do is to take your focus off. Take your focus off what you believe needs fixing. Take your focus off what you believe needs rectifying. And there is a great movement on the planet at this time for action, and there is a great movement on the planet at this time for standing up for what you believe. That is so, and it is a grand movement of consciousness. However, let your focus be on the potential of something new. Let it not be on rectifying what is already there. Because the more you look at it, the less you will see it change. And you can see that even within your media, and even within your communication structures, networks, and processes on the planet, it is encouraging you consistently to look at what is already there as a problem to be solved. Now, having your focus elsewhere means that you are not participating in the problem. Because even if you believe that you are solving the problem, fighting the problem, trying to remedy the problem, your focus is there, but does it have an opportunity to change? Now, if you're a cosmic creator or a cosmic farmer, begin to understand that the greatest influence you can have on the planet this year is allowing your attention to be drawn to that which is being potentialized this time. Now, you may say unto us, well, the economy and the business and the financial structures on the planet have a lot of attention, but if they didn't have a lot of attention, would there be more subversive behavior? Or would there be less energy there to sustain it? Can you understand? This is the power of the human in 2019. It's not about turning a blind eye. because you acknowledge that it is there. It is about understanding that as cosmic creators, the human can focus on what can come next. Do you see? Is that not what is important? That seed was planted long ago, and there is so much attention being given to it, so much fertilization, so much water, so much focus, that it has become a grand experience that in the beginning created shade for you, perhaps. Perhaps that was the understanding, but what is able to grow in its shade? Do you see? "2019 is a year of disruption." But it is not your disruption. It is disruption because that which has been sustained and fed with focus begins to falter. Now, the great difficulty for the human is that the human likes to know what they are planting. And they like to know what this species is before they care to give it any attention. Yes, do I want to watch this grow? Will it be a weed or will it be food? Do I want to watch this grow? Will it be a pest or will it be something that sustains us? It matters not. Because when you direct your focus to the empty space, you are only interested in potential. And if you don't know what it is, it has more potential for humanity. Many humans will say unto us, well, I'm no longer engaging with this, but I don't know what else to do. I know that this is not enough for me, but nothing else. All I can see there is empty space. I don't know what it will be. That is the creative point there. The creative point is, I don't know yet. But allow yourself to go there. That is how entire reality is birthed. If you already know what you think it will be, it's already been created somewhere else. And then you start creating more of the same. Yes? More of the same. Now, all of you in this room do not want to begin 2019 with more of the same. True? You all want something different. True? True. So, how can you create something different if you already have an idea about where you want your attention to be? Can you understand it? So, the human mind then comes in and says, well, what is the mechanism? What is the tool? How do I actually allow myself to focus on something that I have no knowledge about? Yes, because how does the mind do that? How does the mind do that? Well, what it does is it allows you to go into a moment of curiosity. Now, curiosity is a very, very powerful mechanism for humans, but it doesn't last long. It's very momentary. It sits in the gap between what is known and what is unknown. Now, you all know that the human mind likes this. Agree? The human mind likes the creation that is already known. So this plant, you know what that's going to be. The unknown, we don't know yet. There is a space that exists between the mind's focus here and this place that is like a seed. It is very momentary. It happens like this. And it's very, very difficult for the human mind to sit in that space of curiosity. Ultimately, you may have a little spot. Ooh, what is that? And it's the unknownness of it that is the joy. The joy of curiosity is the unknown. So this is where joy sits, in the space between the unknown and known. Now what happens is that the curiosity is there, there's a ooh, and there's a creation spark. Everything begins to light up. It's exactly the same when you meet somebody new. Or you find a new piece of information. Ooh. Now, as soon as the mind experiences that spark of curiosity, that creation spark, it instantly moves towards knowing more about it. Agree? Yes. I want to know more about it. And then the brain gets involved. At the beginning of that process, the body is still in its excited state. It's still creating. But the more that the brain begins to research and understand, the less feeling state the body has, and it becomes a mind exercise. So you start to know more about the unknown, but there's no more creation happening. Yes? And so then it becomes more about, how do I sustain what I have learned? How do I embed what I have learned? How do I practice what I have learned? How do I identify with what I have learned? So you see? Now, when you're the cosmic farmer in 2019, the cosmic creator, it's about being in that space of curiosity. That's the seeding point. Ooh, that's interesting. But the moment that it stops being of curiosity and joy in your body, give yourself permission to be sparked by something else. Now, many humans don't like to be in a space of nothingness. And therefore, what happens is the human mind will keep trying to understand the unknown until something else comes along. And if you're very hesitant to let go of your attention on that particular creation until you're sparked by something else. So what is the mechanism? What is the mechanism that allows you to step back into here without having to be pulled or without having to have your creation destroyed? Because that also happens for you too, does it not? You have to have what you've been focusing on taken away before you'll get back into curiosity. The mechanism is moving into the element of surprise. Now, we have never spoken to you before about the element of surprise. When you get a surprise within your body, how does it present to you? Shock? Fear? Elation? It comes in a few different forms, agree? Most often, when you get a surprise, there is fear that is felt within the mind, but joy within the body. For example, if somebody throws you a surprise party, agree? You get a shock, but there's joy. You win the lottery, there's shock, but there's joy. The mind has the shock, the body has the joy. Can you see it? It's a very important illustration for you. So when you start to understand that this space is where creation begins, start to give yourself permission to have more surprises in your life. Be surprised by things. How do you become surprised by things? You learn to expect nothing. How challenging is that? Expect nothing. Now, there are many great teachers, sages, philosophers on your planet over thousands of years that have been speaking to you about gratitude. Now, what is gratitude? What is the practice of gratitude? You could say unto us that gratitude is the practice of relaxing deeply into what is. True? Relaxing deeply into the stillness. But we suggest to you that in 2019, that gratitude is the doorway to surprise. Gratitude, surprise. Why? Because when you're in gratitude, you don't expect anything. You're in a state of what is. I have no expectations from my life. I have no expectations of this other person. I have no expectations of what tomorrow will bring. Gratitude is the precursor for the state of curiosity and surprise. So when we reference to you gratitude in 2019, understand that it is the state of preparation for surprise. And is it not so that many teachers and philosophers on your planet have taught and have spoken of how when you sit in gratitude, amazing things happen? Of course, because you don't expect anything. And when you don't expect anything, the mind is not involved, and it's just the curiosity and joy that is the spark of creation for the cosmic Father. Do you understand? So let's look at gratitude a little bit differently this year. Let's look at it as anything can happen now. Anything can happen now. And that is a mechanism for which you can allow yourself to sit in the space between the known and the unknown, a mechanism for which you can switch your focus very, very quickly. And going back to the beginning of our conversation, why do you need to switch your focus very, very quickly? Because you're going to be anchoring in multi-directional places. So 2019 is the year when you begin to become living demonstrations of influence in many different ways. This means for you, your business is expanding, your projects expanding, your circle of contacts and relationships expanding, the places that you visit on the planet expanding. And you see, you cannot be localized anymore in any aspect of your experience. Now, for some of you, this will mean that you will want to give up locality. It will mean that you want to give up that which has dictated being in one place. Many of you are going to want to start to move your projects, your businesses, or perhaps even your families out of one localization and into something that is more wide-reaching. Yes? This is a natural movement in 2019. A natural movement. So, we speak to you of gratitude as a doorway to surprise, which is the mechanism for the curiosity of creation. Is there a question? Yes.
How do you know where you choose to live is of the highest good for yourself? Mind might create reasons why it's
so how do you know where the places that you choose are appropriate for you?
Yeah.
Is that your question? Appropriate for your highest good? Use the term highest good. We would reinterpret your question for you. We would say that what you are meaning to ask is, how do I know that where I choose is sustainable? Agree?
Yes.
How do I know I'm not making a mistake? Yes? How do I know that if I make a choice to direct my focus here, that it's the right choice? Well, if you're asking about is it a right choice in terms of consistency and sustainability, we say to you in 2019 there is no choice for sustainability and consistency. Good luck. You might as well stay where you are, except it's getting harder to stay where you are. Agree?
Yeah, it feels, nothing feels certain.
Nothing is certain, nothing is sustainable, because it is about multi-directional focus. So if you're asking us about a move, we would say it's a yes, but then be prepared to move again.
Because that's what's coming in. There's no, I'm not feeling involved or commit because it's all very loose.
Of course.
I could easily take off and it'd be very important with the owners. And I feel very grateful for that.
Yes.
Because it's just, yeah, because I knew like, it's not what I meant to what I would do.
It's not what you had planned.
Not really, yeah, but I'm digging it though. It's good.
Because he's giving you more experience, more opportunities for experience, more opportunities for influence, more opportunities for more states of curiosity and joy. Because when you stay in one place too long, whether it be within your beliefs, your identity, your roles, or your physical environment, you stay there for too long, there is no stimulation. Therefore, there is no creation. You're not creating anything. And the human DNA and cells at this time on the planet are only being stimulated by this kind of energy. Have you noticed that when you're trying to clear something out of your cells or DNA, it's very difficult right now? It doesn't want to move. It feels like a chore for some of you. We know that there are several of you in this room who are very practiced at clearing, and it's becoming a chore. It's becoming like washing the floors in your home. You wash them, and as soon as you finish, you have to go and wash them again. Agree? That is because, as we began our conversation with you, 2019 is a year for creation. Not a year for clearing. Not a year for letting things go. That's the last 7-year cycle. This is the new one. Do you understand? Now, what does this mean for you, for those who are in the practice of clearing for others? Because it's like washing the floors. They keep coming back, you keep clearing. Even those who would say unto us, well, I've cleared them, they're done. We say unto you, it's the energy is not about clearing this year. It's about surprise, it's about curiosity, it's about creation, it's about multiple direction. So if your loved ones or your clients are coming to you and they're saying everything has exploded, I'm all over the place, I don't know who I am anymore, they don't need clearing, they need congratulating. Do you see? And so what you can offer them is insight into how well they are in this state. Can you understand? And you can help them to direct their focus away from what they believe they're trying to sustain and into what is now available for them. Yes? Question?
Yes.
Yes. We're coming. We know what your question is. We're coming to you.
Like gratitude, could you expand on what that would look like if I don't have particular things to be grateful for? What would the state of gratitude look like in a constant?
A state of gratitude is a state of expectation. Now, a different form of expectation. Because an expectation for what you believe you already know is something referenced to the past. An state of expectation for what you don't know is like standing on the edge of the cliff. Agree?
Yeah.
Expectancy. Expectation, expectancy. That is the state of bliss for you this year. Expectancy. Expectation, expectancy. Yes? Gratitude sits in between. Do you understand? Expectation, gratitude, expectancy.
That's good.
Yes?
Humanities have other goals. Look for the progress you get excited that you need, but then there's no joy. It's done and move on.
It's done and you move on. You're not interested in sustaining it.
So my focus has been the last looking for this, this is what this is about.
If you're looking for things to create, you cannot. You can only be in a state of expectancy. Surprise me today. Yes? I'm waking up. Surprise me. Indeed, it is the only expectation you can have. This expectancy. But you have another question for us. And your question is, if we are not clearing blueprints and DNA, what are we doing with it? Yes? What are we doing with DNA in 2019? Lots of you in this room want to know. Are you not cosmic farmers? Are you not creators? Many of you in the next 4 to 5 months are going to experience what it is to start creating DNA. Why do you think you have had so much experience with genetic coding? Why do you think you are here experiencing it in human form yourselves? So it's a wonderful opportunity for you in 2019 to have great expectancy for what appears. Yes? And start playing with that. Because there are some new elements that are going to become very apparent to you. Some new aspects of DNA and the human blueprint that are going to become very apparent to you. That will be a surprise, but will also take your curiosity to new places for reference. Do you understand? So are you cleaners or are you creators? Cleaning sounds like a lot of work, doesn't it? How many of you like cleaning? So be curious. What is here? What is here? Expectancy. Yes? Surprise. For indeed, 2019 is the year of surprise. Now you know, let's say it again, when you're in surprise, what does the body do? Feels joy. What does the mind do? Fear. 2019 is the year of surprise. Be very aware that you do not allow the mind to make it an experience of fear for you. Be conscious that surprise is actually joy. Yes? Yes. Very well. We're going to give you a few moments, and then we're going to begin again. Agreeable?